Okay, good afternoon. This will be a quick video because I don't have time for anything else. This is the final round robin game between Vancouver and Detroit. These are the top two placing teams. That was actually my hand smacking the keyboard. And these are the top two placing teams in the round robin portion of the Tournament of Presidents. And actually, the main reason I made this video is simply that I just wanted to show off the setup that I have here for Ball Roller. Again, just trying to give, share some ideas, big and small here, because Detroit's actually already clinched first in the round robin portion with a record of 4-0-1 after 5 games. Vancouver, on the other hand, with a record of 2-1-2. The worst that they can do here is lose, but they have a 1-0-1 record against the fellow 2-2-2 67 Chicago Blackhawks, so they will automatically finish second in the round robin portion as well. So everything like that's already been determined. Keep in mind that after season one, actually in the off season, the teams that finished 1-2 in the round robin actually didn't fare too well in the semis and finals. So it could end up meaning absolutely nothing. But this is game 12 of 12 of the round robin portion. Things have already been worked out beforehand. Luongo is the starter for Vancouver. Vernon is the starter for Detroit. And Vancouver's rolling on an EC. I believe it's an EB rather, an EB against the Red Wings. The Red Wings are C and C against Vancouver. So Detroit's rolling on a 0 here. Vancouver's rolling at a -3. We could have a pretty low scoring game with this one. And the way that I have it set up here, I'll quickly explain that before I click and roll here. So these two dice here, it's a 2d10 for. Actually, I should switch that. I should switch that to blue for Vancouver and red for Detroit. So let's see. So you can actually see the setup here. I unclick base 1, and so it goes from 0 to 9. It's going to be a straight 0, 0. Although I guess with the 100, well, no, the 0, 0 would be the 100, so that's completely fine. So what I do, I have Vancouver here, and let's go over to Detroit over here. So Vancouver there, Detroit here. And actually, I don't think it matters where I move this to. I think when I unclick this one here, I just have it's a 2, even, odd. I'll get to that. So, and this is going to be the clock. And again, I have these unclicked. So this is 20, but unclicked will go, the base one unclicked is what I mean, will go from 0 to 19. This goes from 0 to 5. It's a D6 with, again, the base one unclicked. And this one from 0 to 9, and it's a D10 base one unclicked. And this here is just either going to be a 1 or 2 for even or odd. So anyway, let's see. We should get this over in as few. I set this up to try to get through one of these in as few clicks as possible, basically. So thought I would just share it here. So in the first period, we have a 49 for Vancouver on a -3. That's going to be no goals for Vancouver. And the 71 and the 0 means that Detroit has scored once. I guess just as a formality here, I'll flip and see who actually scored the goal. Player K for Detroit. Whoops. Player K for Detroit there is actually defenseman Vladimir Konstantinov. And assisting on Konstantinov's goal, let's see, I'm looking at the first line. 6 is Fedorov. And let's see, I'll flip one more to see if there are any more assists. We can award to the first line right wing as well. So it's going to be Konstantinov and Fedorov and Kozlov. And also, because it was just the one goal scored in the period, I don't even have to do a second roll. Like whoops, that actually, you know what? That shouldn't be. I should actually click 1 for this here. I just click base 1 if you can see that. Sorry about that, but I did see 9:41 there on the clock, so I'm going to say at 9:41 of the first period, Konstantinov scored the goal, and here's the second period. In the second period with a 94, let's see, even on a -3, that's going to be good for 2 goals for Vancouver. On the other hand, and I got a warning about something, but actually that didn't disable the camera. Interesting. I don't think that was a COVID-19 warning then. Some other message. Interesting to me anyway. Momentarily distracting. The 82 there for Detroit on the 0. That's going to mean 2 goals for. It's 4-goal period. Okay, we got a bit of a mess here now. 2 goals scored for Vancouver in this period after me saying this would be a low-scoring one. And then, and it's goodness, had they had a 95, actually, that would have been the 3-goal second period for Vancouver. Anyway, with the odd number there, the 1, I go odd on the road, as Dave Gardner pointed out in his Shootout Easy instructional video. So I'm going to say Vancouver scored first. I'll take the time 6:16, and I might end up having to move that to another goal. What I do is I get 4 times, and then I move them around first to last. But we'll say that Vancouver scored first in the second period to tie the game at 1. Player F for Vancouver was, and actually I'm going to move these away just temporarily. I know that it's 3-2 Detroit after 2. Player F for the Canucks is Mikael Samuelsson there in the second line. And assisting, I'm looking at L2D2, right defenseman, that's Kevin Bieksa. And with the player 6 on the second line, a 6 rating, they don't have one. I'm just going to say then Samuelsson from Bieksa at 6:16 of period 2. The 6:16 could be subject to change. And again, because we did have 4 goals here, let's get another time and odd even. So Vancouver apparently went up 2-1 in this one at 7:06. They scored 2 goals within a minute, if that will stand. Player C this time for the Canucks is Alexander Burrows in the top line. I'm looking at L1D1 for goals and assists. Burrows is the right wing. And the centerman there, Henrik Sedin. So Burrows from Henrik Sedin there at 7:06. I might actually unveil something else that I've been doing, at least in the last couple of games. I've been experimenting for awarding assists in shootout. I know there are a variety of ways to award assists in shootout. So anyway, that gives Vancouver their 2 goals. So now I don't even have to look at odd even. I'm just automatically rolling for Detroit and getting a couple more times here. 2 seconds into the second period. Nice try. Anyway, I'm just going to roll that again. Okay, 3:51, so I might actually end up moving some of Vancouver's times. And 16:37, that's more like it. I might even go 13:51. It matters little. I like the narrative that Vancouver went up 2-1 and this was a back and forth game, and then Detroit went up 3-2. But we'll see what happens here. Let's flip for, we'll draw some cards here for Detroit's goals. Take a couple cards off the top of the pile. Slava Kozlov there getting Detroit's second goal. I'm looking at L1D1 for the assist. Kozlov is the right wing. And with the 6 in the center, here's where I'm going to bring my latest mod. What I do here, and I know shootout traditionalists are going to say, no, you only look at 1 result per card, 1 result per card. Okay, well, for the second card that I draw for assist, I'm just going to look at both, and I could award up to 2 assists on this card. I still will get probably occasionally, well, often enough, a 1 assist goal, and then occasionally probably even still an unassisted goal, though rare, but it is rare in real life as well. So I'm going to say Fedorov and Larionov, they were assisted on Kozlov's goal. So the game's tied at 2, and then Detroit went ahead on a goal scored by Dino Ciccarelli there on line 3. Ciccarelli, I look at L3D1. There are no R5s on line 3. And there are no, so again, this will be a perfect example here. R5 came up twice. So I'm just looking at line 3 center. Tim Taylor feeding Dino Ciccarelli there for the go-ahead feed for Detroit. Let's quickly switch the score here. So Detroit is up 3-2 after 2. And let's see here. Okay, so let's see here. For the third period at 21 and a 78. So this, 21, that's going to be game over for Vancouver. 78 does mean that the Red Wings have scored here a couple more times. 5-1 is your final score here at Joe Louis Arena. And just because I need to see the letters here. So in case you're curious, player C, that's Steve Yzerman scoring first here in the third period. I'll take the 5:15 as well. I don't need to look at odd even because only Detroit scored in period 3. Yzerman, I'm going to look at L2D1 here. Yzerman is the center, and I see R5 and the left wing. So I'm just going to say Yzerman for Mary then for Detroit's 4th goal. And player P scoring Detroit's 5th goal is Slava Fetisov there on the second defense pair. Fetisov, let's see here. I'm looking at L1, D2, I guess. R5 and L1 is Sergei Fedorov. And there's an R5 and a 6. So even still there, a lot of 1 assist goals. I'm just going to say Fetisov from Fedorov. That's how I've been doing it the last few games. They're just looking at both sides on the second assist flip. Anyway, there you have it. 5-2 is your final score. Detroit playing like they really want to get back in the League of Champions and Presidents. It's not like they were embarrassed in the opening season. They actually were relegated from the league literally by about this much. Ditto the 71 Boston Bruins in Season 2, actually. It was only on the final day when Philadelphia happened to win and spoil and upset that Boston was relegated. I mean, the 77 Canadians were almost relegated from the league, actually, in that second season of this League of Champions and Presidents. Everything was really tight. Anyway, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'll sort of go out the way that I came in by saying that I had to try to get through this one really quickly, and I do have to get to work. I just thought that I'd show. This isn't really like a game of the week or anything like that. This is just game 12 of 12 of the round robin portion here of the Tournament of Presidents here for the off season. And I will be back with at least one game, probably just one. We'll see what happens later this week, where I will play the full shootout game, and it will be probably a finals game between whichever two teams get to the finals. The playoff, in case you're curious, the semis and the finals, it will be Detroit up against St. Louis, which it'll be interesting to see if St. Louis does anything, because Detroit actually shut them out twice, 4-0 and 2-0 respectively in the round robin portion. Did they to the 2000 St. Louis Blues? So 96 Detroit against 2000 St. Louis in the first semifinal. And then the second one, again, because Vancouver, though they lost here, they do have a 1-0-1 record against the 67 Chicago Blackhawks, which will give them home ice advantage in the semifinal. And it is a best of three, so they will have, I guess provided one team or the other doesn't win both of the first two games, they will have two home games against Chicago's one to try to get through the semi, to get back to the final, to play quite likely, though not guaranteed, to be Detroit. And again, that'll all be with full shootout, and who knows? This could actually be the matchup here in the Tournament of Presidents final, and if so, hopefully it'll be a little more competitive than this one. Their first game was competitive. Detroit took over narrowly in period 3 and ended up winning by a final score of 2-1. Anyway, as mentioned probably about a minute and a half ago, I do really have to get going now, so anytime, any consideration that you give to anything like this, while it is never expected, it is definitely always appreciated. So cheers, thanks, and bye for now.